Hello and welcome to We Women Want. This is our weekly show. It's a women-oriented show where we curate conversations that work for women all over, regardless of which age you are, where you are, whether you're professional, working at home. We talk about women's legal rights. We talk about women and fertility, reproductive health, cancer, laws that help you. We've talked to women acid attack victims. And also we've talked to the women achievers. We've talked to women CEOs, women in the workplace. All kinds of conversation are curated on the show today. But today I have a conversation that is special for every woman. Being a bride, her wedding day, I think, is the most special day for every woman. And more what we are seeing is that women are getting to have a say on their wedding day. Usually traditions impose, and traditions always were in favor of the men. We are a patriarchal society. But of late, it is the women who are getting to have their say. How do they plan their weddings? I mean, the idea is not to be judgmental, whether you want to go over the top, whether you want to play it low-key, whether you want to abide by tradition or not, whether you want to call it off. It is a woman's choice. This is her day, and how she celebrates it is important. Joining me on the show today is Doel Joshi. She just got recently married in November, and she is in fact she launched a studio called How Are You Feeling. But she's also the reason I invited Doel to the show is she belongs to a traditional Brahmin family. She married a boy who was half Bengali, half German. But at her wedding, she made a statement. She veered away from traditions. She said that she wore, for instance, she wore no jewelry, saying I should be judged not for what my parents gave me in terms of my monetary things, but in terms of what they gave me in terms of my degrees, my opportunities. So I should be judged for that worth. So I like to talk to her about her wedding. We have, of course, joining us an old favorite guest, Anjul Bhandari. She's a designer, a brand name for herself. Her clothes are worn by, I think, from Bollywood to industrialists to everybody, I think, who can manage to get a hold of an Anjul Bhandari, from Madhuri Dixit to Priyanka Chopra. She's known for her traditional hand-embroidered chikankari work and in very sober pastel colors that are very pleasing to the eye. She's designed outfits for the Athiya Shetty KL Rahul wedding, for the so Bollywood. She's designed clothes for Tollywood, the Rakshita Shetty Sharvanand wedding, Zia Modi's daughter Aditi Modi's wedding, and she's also contributed to Ami Pandey on the US Netflix show. So welcome to the show, Anjul Bhandari. And we have Shraddha Malik. She's a wedding planner. She runs the Vivah Wedding Solutions along with her mother. Converting dreams to reality, I think, is their tagline. So we have three people from different backgrounds, different areas, but all, merging together on the wedding mandap, I would say. So Doel, tell us a bit about your experience and why you planned your wedding the way you did.
It's funny, I go back to what you started with, saying that a woman's wedding day is the day that she is it's the most important day of her life. And when we started planning the wedding, a lot of people said that to me, and it didn't sit well with me. And I think that was the beginning of the journey of how and why we did the wedding the way that we did it. Yes, it's an important day of my life, but it's one of the many important days of my life. Why is that one day the day that defines me? Why isn't every day that defines me, And so I decided to, with my partner, show up at our wedding as who we are in everyday life. And who we are is contemporary, Indian, traveled, people who sort of care about tradition. And I grew up in a very traditional way. But I was also able to open my eyes to the world and see, okay, not everything about the tradition or not everything about the culture resonates with me and who I am. And so that is the reason why we started planning our wedding in a way to say that every aspect of the wedding, whether it's the decor, whether it's what I wear, because it is such a big opportunity, isn't it? Like all the eyes are on you. So why wouldn't you take that opportunity to tell the world who you are, what your value system is? And you can do that in full respect and love of tradition, of your family, but as a woman to hold your own and show up without apology. And I think that's what we did.
Okay. Anjul, you've also designed many wedding outfits also. What I like about your work is that it's not jhatak or anything. It's very subdued, it's very elegant, very classy. And yet people are opting for that on the wedding day. So is, a statement being made also via your clothes?
So now, like Doel just said, that women always want to make a statement when it comes to their big day, as we call it, as if she rightly said that why is not each day my day and why is that specific day my day? But I guess when we are brought up in a true traditional society, the girl is only brought up with the thought that that day is a very special day. And we somehow have it stuck in our thoughts all the time that this is my day and this is going to be my way. So that's a great idea today in a lot of, on the metros. I cannot speak about the grassroots level. I mean, there we still are very traditional and, the women are still not getting their way out. But here, yes, the girls have got their mind of their own. They know what they want. They know what they want to wear, how they want to look. And as you rightly said, there are a lot of girls who are getting away from the jatak and they want to show to the world that this is what we resonate with and this is what we are all about.
Tell us a bit about the Athiya Shetty outfit, wedding, because that's the recent one and
Yes.
it really made a lot of news.
Yes, the Athiya Shetty was a very beautifully done outfit, and she was a very fabulous girl who had a very clear mind of her own. So even when, I was sitting down with her for her meetings and we were planning her outfit, the only thing came from her was, I want to be associated with a craft which comes from the grassroots level and something which is handmade, done in the country, which has got no machine on it. And I want the craft to be visible clearly. So hence, her outfit had no embellishments. So if you look at her outfit, it doesn't have even the little bit of iota of a bling anywhere. So the only thing I added to her outfit with the chikankari was a little bit of Swarovski beads here and there, because I was, as a person, as a designer, feeling very, hello, it can't be that plain. So she must look like a bride. So that was my only thing, and I got her to agree with it. And yes, of course, her vision, and with her help, I could really create what she actually wanted to wear on her day. And it looked stunning, absolutely, absolutely.
In fact, what I liked about her was that I think all the women who worked on the outfit, they posted pictures and she retweeted them or she reposted.
She was very clear.
And I like that.
And the best part about her was that, what she did was that she chose anything and everything to do with women. So if you look at it, her stylist was a woman. All her designers were women. She chose the craft which was done by the woman.
I see.
So she chose specifically to do the chikankari because chikankari back in Awadh is only done by women. It's a women-oriented craft. So somewhere down the line, you are empowering women all the way, even while you're making a statement of getting married and wearing an outfit. You're empowering a woman all through. So that was a great idea, actually.
So that's interesting also, it's a women's statement at the end of the day. Shraddha, a bit about the kind of interactions you have with the brides or the grooms, what kind of thought goes behind the wedding? Does the woman have a say?
So, towards like the start, it was more about what does the boys' family want, and whatever they say, we have to do that. Like they want a big wedding, we'll do a big wedding. They want a small wedding, we'll do a small wedding. And the bride was kind of sidelined, even though it was her day. So in her house, she was like, all like, it's your day, you will do whatever. But in actuality, that was not the case. But now I think the trend is kind of shifting and it is what the bride wants. And that is how it should be. She's the one who's leaving her house. She's the one who's like moving out. Poor thing, give her like, her day. If you've been like putting it in her head since she was like probably 1 year old that, someday you're going to get married, someday you're going to go. So, but nowadays I think women are very like vocal about what they want also. So they clearly say that, okay, this is what I want to wear. This is the photographer I want. This is the kind of like look I want for my decor. And it should be that way. Like it is the bride's day. So let it just be the bride's day.
Yeah. But any customs or something that you recall that they have, like Doyle herself has, introduced or done away with, or
a lot of people these days are saying that we don't want Kanyadan to happen, that I am not like a thing that you can just give away.
Good.
So a lot of our brides are actually, revolting to that, which is kind of nice because, I mean, as a woman, I'm not an object that you can just give away. Like, it may have like a lot of traditional value to it, or it may not be, put out there as a thing that, you're like giving something away. It comes with a whole mindset that, the bride's family is giving away whatever they cherish the most. But if you like just hear of the term Kanyadan, it comes out as like, okay, fine, this is like just something I'm doing away with, I'm giving away, So a lot of people are not doing that. In fact, my own bhabhi refused to do the fulya ceremony because she was like, you know, I am not getting out of this family. I'm still part of it. So I am not like doing the last bit of like, you know, saying a complete goodbye to my house. So a lot of people are also doing that. But in like bits and pieces, you know, like the shagan happens and then the bride ka chunni happens and all of that. So people are like doing away with those elaborate things of, you know, showing off that, okay, this is what she got and this is what she gave and, you know, stuff like that. Like dowry per se is going away, which is a very good thing.
Yeah.
Like it's now honestly about what the bride wants to take in her trousseau or, you know, like a small gift for the family or something like that. It's not like ki ab TV bhi de rahe hain, micro bhi de rahe hain, you know, all of that nonsense that used to happen. Thankfully, it's like been done away with. But yeah, like small,
At least
small
the ostentatious display has been done away with.
yeah,
We don't know
thankfully,
what
yes.
goes on behind
Like
the
there
scenes.
are no big tables with like, you know, huge displays anymore. It was quite a task to even get that on. But yeah.
But that used to happen till recently, huh?
It used to happen till very recently.
I'm very surprised.
I think it still happens.
It still happens
We
in
haven't
a lot
got
of
done away with it
families.
yet. It still happens.
It still happens in a lot of families, but now, you know, it's like, or you go and give it a day prior, or you like, you know, do the ceremony say at 6 o'clock and your
You don't-
invite time is at 8. But it's not like out there that, you know, we're putting the display because we want to show it to like the 600 people who are invited. Thankfully, at least that bit is shifted.
Okay. Do a little more about the traditions that you did away with or the differences that you brought to your wedding. I had noticed it was covered by the Vogue also.
Yes, it was. The idea was that for us, it wasn't about doing away with traditions, right? So I did have a kanyadan. And the reason being that we didn't go into the wedding just saying, okay, there are these 10,000, and because I'm a Marwari, we have so many little and very big rituals and things like that. But ultimately, it was about questioning what they are, what is their origin, why did it even happen in the first place, and how does it lend itself to my psychology as a woman, right? So when you just use the word kanyadan, it is very misleading, and I agree that it's very repulsive to think that, okay, I'm something that should be given away. But when you sort of read back, and we did try to, I mean, and the funny thing is that not many people have the answer, right? So if I call my aunt and I'm like, ye kyun hota hai? We're like, beta, aisa hota hi hai, ab kya kare? You know, and nobody could sort of answer questions for us. We try to look for them in texts and different things and things that have been written in a modern way about these little rituals. For me, it became about emancipation, right? And it wasn't emancipation from my family. It was an emancipation from the barriers or the cultural barriers that I felt like I needed to obey to or like succumb to in order to be a good daughter, in order to be a good Indian woman, right? But to say that I'm emancipated and I'm myself, and these rituals enable that. So when we went into the rituals, we were very conscious of saying that I am given away. There is a bond that breaks, and that's not because now I'm bonded with my husband, it's because I can take onus of myself as a woman. And so it's really about how you interpret it, and like if you really go into the nuances of it, that's what we found, that ultimately these rituals were not there to put women down and to suppress their identity. It was in fact to give them identity. It was in fact to sort of say, you know what, today you become a woman. These are the things that we give you, right? Now, as in a contemporary setting, do I need those things? Do I need a TV and do I need a microwave or whatever? No, but you were giving women security, right?
Security, okay.
You were given security because women weren't allowed to go and work and pay their way through life. And so should she be waiting on her husband to pay for things, or could she have her own things, right? So it really became about investigating deeply within myself, because there was a big dialogue about kya karna hai, kya nahi karna hai, what is okay, what's not okay, where do I draw my boundaries, and not easy conversations. But it lent itself to really how I feel today as a married woman, which is more myself, more independent than I did before.
How well put. Beautiful.
Yes, totally. So Anjal, you've seen a lot of weddings where I think tradition is a big deal, you know, because all these, especially these high-profile families, really rely a lot on the riti rivaj and traditions. So what is your take on what these two girls have said?
No, I completely agree with what Doyle just said. I 100% agree, because I do a craft which is traditional, and from heart I am very traditional. Hence, I can portray the kind of clothes I do, because basically I'm a very traditional person. So I completely agree with her that everything, how much ever we may say it's all about us, it's about the women, it's how she's going to look on that day. How she's going to look is just one part, one aspect which we don't, realize at that point of time. We're just saying, दुल्हन है तो सुंदर ही होनी चाहिए. No. That's not what it is. दुल्हन है तो वो वैसी होनी चाहिए जैसा वो लगना चाहती है. It's about her. So that is just one aspect we are working on. The major aspect about the woman on that day is how she is going to break away. In fact, that's a wrong word to say break away from her family, but to leave a family and to go into another family and make sure, as Doyle just rightly said, that it's about making her own identity. Today, we are giving identity to our girls before they get married, which is great. Which is great. They have an identity of their own. They have their own businesses running. So instead of giving, parents today are not giving girls dowry as per se. We may say that, people are saying that there is no Godrej ka fridge and whatever and whatever. But there are businesses which are being shifted. So which is great, which is absolutely great. So somewhere being traditional is a great idea. But tradition with a purpose is a better idea, I feel. We have to stick to
with an understanding of what it started
exactly.
as
so with
is
a
a great
purpose.
idea.
It's
but
a purpose.
Not
Let's not
the way
put
it
it
has been
together.
put
Let
across
us not
now.
always put it to a person that if it's traditional, it has to be wrong. No, the traditions were not meant for that. The traditions were also meant to uplift the woman. Hinduism is a way of life, as we put it. So when we talk about traditions, they were supposed to be lifting us up. So let's put it like that. Na? Let's enjoy every tradition and still be more sensitive and more aware of what we are doing.
So reinterpreting tradition, I
Is
think
more
perhaps
important.
would be
Is
one
what
way.
is more important.
Okay, I'm going to take a break and come back and continue this conversation. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to a We Women special. Today we are talking about brides, new age brides, what women think of the message they want to send on their wedding day. Shraddha, I know there is a very interesting backstory to you. I don't know whether you want to share it with all of us. But your own wedding, your own, you did send out a very empowering statement on that day.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know, but I actually called off my wedding 3 days before the wedding. So it was kind of like, it was very difficult. That's what I would like to say. It was very difficult to actually take that decision because since I think childhood, we've been brought up in a way like women are kind of people pleasers. Like, you're always taking care of everyone. You're taking care of everyone's sentiments. You're taking care of like the whole world around you. And you've always been brought up thinking that, okay, your most special day is the day you get married. And since I am a wedding planner, it was very ironic for me to actually call off my own. Like, I get the world married, and when it came to me, I was going through a very bad relationship. I was being abused. I was being belittled. I was told that I'm not worth it. I am pathetic at what I do. I should stop working if I want to, be married to this person. Like, I had to give up a lot, and it was like, small things that I was like, okay, fine, probably I'll do this and he'll be happy. Probably I'll do this also, he'll be happy. Okay, maybe if I stop working, he'll be more secure in our relationship, and then, we'll fight less. And I wanted to tell my family a few times. In fact, I think my grandmom sensed it a few times. She would come and talk to me and she would be like, so I am a very happy-go-lucky child and I am quite pampered in my family, being the little daughter, and I think I get along very well with the elders of my family because mostly everyone would come and stay at our house, So she would come and tell me that, you're just not happy. Why are you not happy? Are you taking so much stress because you're a planner? Do you want to outsource the work to someone? But she could not figure what is going wrong, but she knew something is wrong. And every time I would want to tell her, I would be like, no, I'll break her heart. Like, if I tell my grandmom 15 days before my wedding that, the cards have gone out, the gifts have gone out, the invites have gone out, that, okay, I don't want to do this. I know it'll hurt her because I know till date, it is her biggest dream to see me as a bride.
So how did you finally do it?
So, it was on the night of my cocktail, and it was just really bad the way he was treating me. He was pulling my hair, he was pushing me around, he wasn't letting me like, you know, like if friends would come and want to take photos with me, he would just push them on the side and be like, you know, you come this side, you're not standing with her. We crossed a few friends and he just said something really like
gaslighting
demeaning.
you in public. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it was just, I was just too full by that time. Like, I couldn't take it anymore. Like, you know, he had like kind of hit me, and like being abused was like a daily affair. And I just broke down. I was in tears. My brother came and hugged me and he was like, you know, just please tell me, why are you so sad? And that, like, the way he hugged me,
Yeah.
that is what actually gave me like the power to actually speak up, because I was like, you know, he's there. Like, if something goes
So you
wrong,
got
my brother
support
is there.
from your family, right?
Yeah. And then my sisters were the one who, you know, took me to another room and they were like, just tell us what is wrong. That's when I like burst out. I told them everything and that was it. Like, I thought that, you know, my family would probably convince me, you know, 2 din bache hain, please, like, you know, everything will get better. But my family was the one who actually said that you're not going anywhere. You are safe in your house. You will stay here. And they went and called it off. Like, they went to his house and said
So
that
family
you
support.
don't
Sorry, I'm
reach my
cutting you
daughter.
short because I wanted to just take the thing forward. So family support, I think, is
Family
very
support
important.
is everything.
Is everything. But Doyle, a bit about your some more in terms of, you know, if you can give us examples of how your wedding, what you did during the wedding.
I just want to continue on what she said.
Oh, great.
I really, something that happened recently to me, I was just talking to a friend and she comes from a, let's say, more traditional family background, and her sister got married, her older sister, and she, the way that she put it was that she did not have a choice, right? She did not have a choice, and she, you know, it started very slow, abhi rishta dekh lo, photo dekh lo, mil ke aa jate hain, whatever. And she got married, and as a little sister, she saw her struggle, right? So she, I'm sure same way as your brother, she felt that something was wrong and something has been wrong. And what I realized was that, and you see a lot of like memes on Instagram and like a lot of things going on, a lot of reels where it's kind of, there is a sort of format of how a woman is, this is your time, this is your age, now we'll look for a boy, now we will,
Yeah, like
now,
she said,
you know,
the whole
like
expectations,
this
yeah.
is your format, this is the mold, and this is how things will go, because I mean, ultimately our parents want safety for us, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. I think they come from a very honest place and a very good place to say that, you know what, this is, we want safety for you, right? And by this age, by this time, if you are where we think or where we think you fit, it's great. We want that for you. So we'll facilitate that for you. But seeing that happen over and over again, and seeing that women, especially like first women in the house, I think second children and third children sort of see that happen and be like, yeah, well, that's not for me. I'm not going to do that. I just want to say that, like, you have a choice, right? Like, in your example, sort of illustrates it perfectly to say the people that love you will stand by you, right? So even
support
if
is very essential, you know.
It
If
is
she
essential.
didn't get the family support,
You know, I think support is always there. It is us who think that we may not get it.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
us.
us
I
who
really
feel
think so.
that, you know, maybe this will really hurt the other person,
Yeah.
instead of actually voicing it out. Like, if I would have voiced it out, say 15 days prior, 20 days prior, a month prior, when it was really at its peak, I know I would have got that support.
yeah.
I would have saved a lot of money and not spent it. But it is that internal fear, and that is because you are a people pleaser. Like, that personality is indrilled in you, you know.
This
like,
is the-
people pleasing is given to you since birth. Like, you have to do this.
But if you take ownership, or if you, you know, self-love for women is such a difficult thing, right? Like, all of us can attest to this. Taking care of yourself first.
Yeah, it's
seems
always
like
the other
worst thing
person
that you
before
can do.
you.
Yeah.
And it just comes because you see that. Like, I've seen my grandmom putting my grandfather before her all her life. I've seen that with my mother, putting the entire family before her entire life.
Yeah.
So it just sort of comes to you very naturally. Even you may not want to do it. You want to, like, you know, love yourself before the other.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
this
We
is
also
the
have
image
to
of a
remember
woman, huh?
one more thing when we say that we have to learn to love ourselves before. Somewhere down the line, you know, thought process, a woman is made, genetically made in a way, I personally feel, where Her love is about loving others and thinking about it that, okay, I am only being loved because I'm loving all these people. It's very genetic. You put your child in front of you and see where your whole instinct will go to. I mean, you will not worry that you're going to fall, you've not eaten, but the child has to eat. That is very instinctive. I don't think that somebody has taught you that or somebody has drilled in you. That's very natural.
It's instinctive, but also it is what you see.
And also because the child has come through you. It's your flesh and blood at the end of the day. So it's very. और हमारे पुराने ज़माने में कहते थे कि पानी जो है वो नीचे की तरफ बहता है. So you will not look up as to what my mother did to me. You will always look down what you have to do to your child. So it's very instinctive. So I would personally feel that it's nothing wrong. And it's not about pleasing people. I mean, somewhere down the line, you're very right when you say that we are people pleasers. But somewhere, while pleasing those people, we are also making ourselves happy about it. Because that gives us enough happiness.
But I don't know if that happiness is true happiness, right? So that what I'm saying is like you eclipse your own personality and your own needs.
That has to come from within. We have to know what we want.
Exactly.
And today's woman is very clear as to what they exactly want. They're very clear. If you can stand up on the wedding day and say that this is not what I want, I think it's quite
I think full marks to you, Shraddha, really. You know, on that day, 2 days before, I know, especially in, all the families collect together, apart from the...
And all your lehengas ready.
And trust Anjul to think of that one.
Exactly.
But you can wear it every day and celebrate yourself.
Celebrate yourself.
So on that note, thank you all for this discussion. I think a lot of interesting points came out. At the end of the day, it is the new age woman who is, knows what she wants. The sense of self. It's a bit of tradition. It's a lot of reinventing tradition. So it's a lot of being, celebrating yourself, which is, I think, what we do on this show also. Thank you so much.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.